Thank you, everybody, for attending. Just before I start, I want to thank everybody, Chris, and everybody work in this event and make it happen, and for the opportunity to present what I have to say. My name is Saleh. I work with the JASARA company as a BIM manager. My background, I am civil engineer. Without delaying anymore, as you can see here, I want to talk about a subject named bridging the gap between the design phase and the construction phase. Why, in most of the cases, the design phase BIM deliverable are not suitable enough for the construction people to do whatever they want to do, managing, doing cost estimation. In most of the cases, the design deliverable are not suitable. So but this was part of a research or a thesis. So in these slides, we will gonna go through a flow that's similar to the thesis flow. Now, I have made a claim that the design deliverable is not matching. So we need to identify the problem for that and rationale and literature review. I mean, any one of us can have a problem, but is this problem valid? Is there a solution? Because we don't want to reinvent the wheel after all. Anyone can have a problem, but there's a solution, maybe adopted in one country or another. So you need to adopt what the people have conducted already, not to do everything all over again. So we will make sure the issue is valid. We're gonna, number two, investigate the problem. We're gonna do some research, questionnaire, interview people from the market, and try to figure out what is the root causes for this issue, for the gap between the design and the construction. And at the end, after all this research, we're gonna come to some conclusion and recommendation, hopefully to overcome this issue. So now regarding the rationale for this issue, you can see here, and I will try to zoom. You can see here, for example, what the people have to say in other publication about similar issue or similar concern. Many engineering entity, for example, don't pay enough attention to cost control and management. And we are talking here about the designer. They're not given enough attention about the management requirement at later stage. And even they don't perceive the BIM model as a deliverable. Their main focus on the drawing and document and specification and everything in 2D. This is the claim of this gentleman, the reference. And another people have different claim. BIM utilization into management tasks is another global issue. And you can see even here, number three, discrepancy between the design phase, BIM deliverable, and construction phase requirement will occur, especially with the lack of collaboration between the designer and contractor. So this is somewhere or another referring to the integrated project delivery and the procurement strategy. And also for the BIM model is not effective in time management tool because BIM model usually focus on BIM objective or as a physical properties and linking 3D model with time schedule is time consuming. So here, this gentleman says it's about the tools we have. It is not, let's say, friendly tools. It's a little bit complicated. So there is a different reason. It's regarding, some people say, about the procurement strategy, about the tools, about the mentality of the people. However, the idea of this slides is just to ensure what we are saying here is valid, and this is a global concern. Okay. Now, in order to investigate, since we ensure this is a valid issue, we conduct a questionnaire and even interview to dig deep inside this issue. I just want to mention the research was meant for the Middle East and North African region, but I believe based on what we have seen in the previous slides, somewhere or another it also could be applicable for other regions. So in this questionnaire, I will show you the results in the comment slide. There were many people who responded, 120, but only 89 response was considered for too many different reasons. And in a questionnaire, not all the people will respond in a valid way, let's say. And you can see here in the second line, the 89, 40 of them are BIM professional, BIM manager, engineer, whatever they call, so they know what they are answering to. 31 and from the project management field and from the technical field. However, to make sure the results are reliable and there is a 10% margin and 90% confidence, there is a minimum respondent required, that is 68 responses. That's number need to be maintained in order to claim that the results is confidence up to 90%. So now here in the first slides, you can see we started about the BIM requirement. Is the client actually, now before we dig into this issue, is the client providing any BIM requirement, either as the top chart show, either in brief or in detail as per the bar chart in below. And you can see here there are multiple answers, most likely, always. And the people who said yes, the client providing BIM requirement are less than 50%, it's 43%. And in detail, it's 34%. So let's say it's 30%. So 30% of the client providing BIM requirement. This is a big issue. So that's mean there's 70% of the project have no BIM requirement. So this is an obstacle in the BIM implementation in general, not only in the using BIM in the management field. And the second, what about the utilization of BIM? How people use BIM? Only technical, or there is any other use regarding the management task, either for BQ, for planning, for cost management? And as you can see here, based on the answer, BQ, 38% have responded, yes, we are using BIM and BQ. And the planning, the second bar chart, you can see here the percentage is even less, 25%. And in cost management in general, it's 24%. This percentage are for the people who said always or most likely we are using the BIM. It's even not always all the time. So we are talking about 25% only of the people who's implementing the BIM. That's already 30%. So it's a very, very low number. And the uses of the BIM is very limited in the management activity. So now we have ensured the issue is valid. In the previous two slides, we have ensured, yes, it's valid until this moment. Yes, people are not using BIM in the management activity. And this slide is one of the main questions, why this is the case. Why the deliverable of the design stage cannot be used in management activity? There was a plenty of answer, like 10 options, was made based on the literature review we see in the beginning. Many people have different opinion, and whoever participate need to select. And the idea is to see what is the most option that people select that can refer to the main problem. You can see here under the chart, 41 participants out of the 72, that's make them around 57% of the people who participate, said design team lack of interest, where they focus only on their function and the technical side. So they don't consider the function of other consultants. So the majority of the people who participate, BIM manager, project manager, they believe the designer are not interested, only the interest only in his deliverable. So this is a major problem. Most of the people agree with it. Number two, 40% of the people have selected that client didn't ask the design team to prepare BIM model. So that's referred to the client requirement. But this is the second thing. The third option, or the third ranking, for the issue for this problem is BIM dimensionality gave impression that 4D and 5D BIM model are advanced in compared to the 3D. So cost and time perceived as an advanced, not essential task. I mean, now we are talking about the terminology. You can see, for example, similar thing in the past before the ISO, they were referring for the EIR as employer information requirement. But due to the huge impact of the terminology, it's have been changed in the ISO to exchange information instead of an employer. So terminology is important. And many people perceive 4D, 5D as a ranking. It's not a ranking. This is 3D, this is 4D. They are all in the same level. But this is how the people are seeing it. They think it's some sort of ranking. So I need to be mature enough in the 3D. I'm not worried about the 4D or 5D. This is something in advance. So I think this leads us to maybe rethink again about the terminology. So what is the solution? Okay, we understand now. These are the problem, lack of interest from the design side, terminology. What is the possible solution? Again, many option was given based on the literature review, and 60% of the people who join or who participate said client to avoid ambiguity and provide clear requirements. So this seems logic. So one of the main issue, the three main top issue, the lack of requirement, and of course the answer is, or the solution, to provide the requirement. The number two, the 50% of the people selected that increase the architect and engineering awareness regarding project management activity, by implementation, project management terminology and method, and BIM standard and reference. So again, we said the main issue is the lack of interest. So this lack of interest have a source. It could be also lack of knowledge. We are talking about now, for example, you are talking about an architect. So he's an architect, he's an engineer, design engineer. He's focused in the technical field. So he need to prepare a model somehow suitable for the BEQ. So okay, what this guy knowledge about the quantity surveying, and what his knowledge about the planning. So also you can see there is also fragmentation in the standard. I mean, if you go to any project management standard, are they referring anyhow to the BIM, or even in the BIM standard, are they referring to any management task or something? So there is, we are always saying, we are now, even in the previous slides, my colleagues what have said, we are almost talking about the same thing from different angle. So we are saying there is a fragmentation, and we always say the people, the client, but also we need to pay attention that there is a fragmentation in the standards itself. The standards are in silo. ISO standard only in BIM, BMP, for example, brings two other standard focus only in the management field. There should be some sort of communication to increase the awareness. Okay, beside the what we have seen now, the issue of the problem and the possible solution, there were several also hypotheses was investigated in order to discover the willingness of the market to implement BIM. Are they willing to change the way they do things? So in the first slide, one of the barriers of using BIM into monetary activities that people like cost manager, project manager, people in decision-making position believe that cost data are sensitive, and using BIM with cost management may lead to uncover or disclose monetary data. They deal with it as something secret. So is this hypothesis correct? This is how the manager and commercial manager believe? You can see here, based on the result here, manager or the people who say yes, manager do believe in this way. It's almost 43 out of 67. 64% of the people who participate, 64, that's two-thirds of the people believe yes. manager, commercial manager, project manager, they are afraid BIM may disclose monetary data, and these are secret. So if we are talking about implementing BIM and cost management activity, even if the BIM can do it, even if there is no problem with the tools, people are not willing to use it. The second question, okay, this is the situation in the market. So you as participant, what do you believe? What is your opinion? This is the second slide about the same case. 48%, that's half of the participant, agreed. Yes, BIM will disclose information, sensitive information, cost information, and BIM shouldn't be used. I mean, this is very, very dangerous number here. We are talking about almost 50% of the people who participate. They are, you can see here in one of the charts, showing the experience of the people. The majority of the people have a very good experience, I would say, from 8 to 15 years of experience. The majority of the people who participate in this and answering this question. And many of them, even from the BIM field, they say, yes, BIM will disclose information, no need to use BIM for cost activity. So this is take us to, again, to the mindset of the people and how to accept BIM. And the second slide, another issue is not with disclosure of information, but the way how we actually, the cost commercial, do their job. I mean manually, I'm referring to the manual estimation. Now BIM or any of these tools will do everything automatically. It's just view click you need to do. But people who used to do the cost estimation and quantity takeoff, usually manually, via CAD and many old tools. So are these people are confident enough with automatic estimation, or they still have to do everything manually so they can feel confidence about the result they are gonna get? Based on the answer here, yes, around, I'm gonna try to zoom. You can see here 64% of the people who participate say yes. Commercial manager, quantity surveyor prefer manual estimation than automatic estimation. That will make them more confident about the result. We are talking, imagine, we are talking now about a company, about a contractor who want to put his proposal for tender. Is the manager will be confident that everything have come automatically or not? So as you can see here, yes, agree. This is one of the issues. 63%, we are talking about almost two-thirds, say yes, manual estimation is preferred. The second question is, okay, what is your opinion? This is the case now in the market. What do you think? Is it true manual estimation is better? You can see here 38% agree, yes. If we are talking about cost estimation, yes, it should be done manually. We don't trust the automatic way regardless of the tools. Of course, you can see this could be one way or another accepted from people who don't have much idea about BIM. But I have highlighted here in red that 4 of the 12 BIM manager who answered this question say yes, BIM shouldn't be trusted in automatic estimation. I'm talking now here about all these red circle referring to people from the BIM field, either BIM manager, BIM engineer, or whatever the position is. So even people from the BIM field say yes, BIM is not trustworthy to do an automatic estimation. This is disastrous. How are you gonna convince commercial guy or a project manager guy if the BIM specialist still thinking the same way? Very okay. Going to the last hypothesis here was discussed is okay. Now we have asked about several things. The last thing is there is any sort of resistance from the current people in decision-making position? They are resistant because they are not able to adopt BIM, so that's why they are refusing. It's only an individual issue. They don't know BIM, so they will not use it. As you can see here, 77%, that's 3/4 of the people who joined, say yes. most of the people in decision make and making decision, project manager, commercial, planning manager, yes, they don't know BIM. They're afraid of working with something they don't know, and this is one of the obstacles. 77% have agreed. This is a very huge number. So again, this is difficult regardless of the barrier of the tool. This was a summary of the questionnaire was invested, and you can see there is multiple issue there, but mainly about the people mindset, and they're willing to accept the change. And the other side, there was an interview have been conducted with several interview, around 11 or 10 or 11 interview, searching for answer. Okay, we understand the problem now. What is the possible solution? Again, the people give similar answer about the reason of the problem, the absence of client requirement, lack of authority or authorized body who should provide a map. Now, all the focus till now in the technical side, how do you BIM, how do you do the drawing, but I never come across any official document, let's say, trying to explain how to use BIM in cost management or in planning, or the focus in the technical side. So people say yes, the authorized body should guide the market. But regardless the different opinion of the people, due to the investigation via this interview, it was long interview, like 1 hour, sometimes even exceeding 2 hours. In my opinion, the real reason and the essence reason for all this issue is, I have highlighted here, there is no awareness about the benefit or return on investment of implementing BIM into managerial activities. So people now, manager, yes, we are doing these things already. So now implementing BIM, that's mean purchasing software, that's mean purchasing hardware, that's mean training, that's mean devoting time, devoting money, accepting the risk of doing things not correctly. This is a huge risk and a huge investment. Why we would do it? And there are too many tools. I understand that there is too many tools. I'm a guy from the BIM field. It's even a nightmare for a guy like me to be aware of about all these tools. There is too many tools. It's difficult to be able to work with this and this and this. So all these tools, it's really rare you find any of these company or developer actually saying what is the benefit. Okay, now I'm gonna purchase your tool. Okay, what is the benefit I'm gonna get? In the technical, again, there is a lot of return of investment research have been done only in the technical side. So you will find, for example, I have come across a research made by Aconex. They are saying, comparing a project implementing BIM with a project didn't implement BIM with the same budget regarding the number of RFI. For example, project with 100 million pounds work without BIM, they have made 5,000 RFI. Similar project with BIM, they have made 1,000 RFI. So, okay, there is a benefit, a clear benefit based on number. And these benefits have been addressed in the technical side from different way, like RFI, like rework, but I have not come across anything talking about the same issue regarding management and planning and cost. What is the benefit? What is the project who used the BIM and the management get better than the one who don't? I didn't come across any, and this could be also one of the reasons why the absence of return on investment. And again, there is too many other, also many people have also said, okay, you are implementing BIM, but what is the end product? The end product here in scene number 3, the end product is still 2D, So we should search to eliminate the 2D from how we do our work. As a result, this workflow have been developed, trying to, as we said, there is a gap. The idea, as you can see, it's a very large workflow. The idea of this workflow is mixing the RIBA, RIBA, and how the project sequence BMB and the ISO, mixing them all together. So when you read this, you will find some slot from RIBA, RIBA, from BMB, and also from the ISO, all mixing together. And again, there is no time to explain this any further. And here you can see also regarding the color and everything, there is a legend, so it will help you to understand. And also, unfortunately, there is no time. I would like to describe this further, but I think you get the general idea. Thank you. Thank you.
Is it work? Oh, it's working. Thank you, Saleh, for all this information
Thank you.
shared. Well, I'm Zainab, an architect based between Morocco and UK, BIM enthusiast. So it's very important to realize that the gap still exists between the construction and the design, which I believe mainly why BIM is here at first place. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, is that to really eliminate as much as we can this gap and the problems we face in the construction sites as a result of non-coordination between all the stakeholders. So this is very important to realize that the gap still exists. And it's very important that you mentioned that 70% of the projects doesn't come with the BIM requirements at first place, which is a starting issue. So I'd like to know more about the strategy your company do to eliminate this starting point, as it's very important to reframe the situation from the beginning in the BIM journey. Thank you.
I think, again, as I said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can see what more advanced countries do in this regard, and I will refer to make it mandatory. That's it. It's mandatory. You need to do it. You want to do this project, use the BIM. We try as hard as we can to explain it to you. You don't understand? Okay, you have to do it one way or another. So it was mandated in UK. And I mean, see the number. All the advanced, I believe, all the advanced countries in this field, they mandated. So why we are gonna, for example, in the Middle East, trying to find somewhere else, mandated as well. So this could be a solution. And again, as you can see, we said the gap. It's an important question to understand, okay, what is the gap? What is the type of the gap we are talking about? Is it a gap of knowledge? Is it a gap of tools? I think it's a mixed type of gap. But I would say mainly is a gap of a mindset, people accepting. But also it can be work, gap of tools. Also it's a gap of knowledge as well. Gap of standards, because standard is also fragmented. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Saleh. Give him a round of applause. There's some amazing, amazing statistics in there that I hope you get the chance to go back and have a look at again. We're at the end. And we're literally out of time, so we didn't have time to have the fun that we had before coffee. But the fun was, and I want you to take this away with you, was to get up, stand up, get some body movement again, but meet somebody new, share your story with them, understand their story, learn something new from somebody new. That's what I'd encourage you to do. Lunch is served, the afternoon awaits. Thank you so much. Let's thank the speakers again from this second morning session. They've been tremendous. So thank you so much for your input. Okay, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.